So this time we are doing Mount Rushmores of last names, which starting with the letter A, Sam and I did A, B, and C. We came up with what we thought were popular, like the most populous names, and trying to come up with 4. So what we're going to do is I'll share my list, Sam will share his, and then we'll come up with the Cincinnati sports scene podcast list for Mount Rushmore for A, B, and C. So the A's will be Adams, the B's will be Browns, and the C's will be Carters. So you want to give me your A's or your Adams?
Yeah, I will give you my Adams here. So I have...
See if we have the same.
I was able to come up with 3 pretty well.
Easy?
The 4th
Okay.
one's going to be a little shaky. So I've got Sam Adams as one. And then I've got John Adams and John Quincy Adams.
Okay.
And then my 4th one, I'm going with Bryan Adams.
The singer?
The singer, yes.
Okay, well, that's good because I had John Adams, I had Bryan Adams, I had Samuel Adams as well. Those
So
3.
3 right there.
3 right there. You had John Quincy. I did not have John Quincy Adams. Like, okay, he was a president, but what did he do? I have no idea. I mean, he was John Adams' son. That's the only thing I know, right? It's like what he didn't fight in a war. I don't think he didn't do this. He didn't get more land for it. He just was a president, right?
He was a president.
He was a president.
I mean, presidents go on Mount Rushmore.
Presidents do. Only 4 of them, though. But
we're picking 4.
John Quincy Adams wasn't one of them, so that's up there.
No, but neither was John Adams.
No, that's true. But I went with, I had some others on the list, but I went with Ansel Adams, the photographer, the American photographer, who was very famous.
Don't know who that is.
And a lot of people probably don't. So
yeah,
it looks like John Quincy Adams by default will be the 4th one. I did have Kay Adams on the list, but
that's a more recent, she's known. So.
Right. Kay Adams, Devontae Adams, right?
Yeah, there wasn't really any athletes I felt were worthy for Adams. I mean, there's clearly a lot of Adams out there. I just didn't.
Right. I just didn't.
No all-time greats. Right.
All right. So now let's go into all-time greats here for the Brown name. There's a lot of good ones for Browns. Obviously, Jim Brown, Paul Brown, James Brown, the godfather of soul. And then I went with a cooking guy, Alton Brown.
Okay. Well, so we had 3 the same, James, Jim, and Paul.
Okay.
And then I went with...
You went with Mike.
You went with Mike, didn't you? I did not go with Mike. I went another musician. I went Chris Brown, number 4.
Oh, you went Chris Brown. You didn't go Bobby Brown? See, I would have went Bobby Brown before Chris Brown.
Bobby Brown was on there, but I'm going Chris Brown, a little more my era. So.
Yeah, Chris Brown. I also had Dan Brown, the author. Zach Brown.
Yeah, Zach Brown Band.
Larry Brown, head coach.
Yeah, basketball.
Yeah, I think he national championship.
NCAA and
NBA. Yeah. And then Brian Brown, who was in Cocktails. He was the bartender, one of the bartenders next opposite Tom Cruise. And then Timmy Brown from Notre Dame and Oakland Raiders. So who do you want to go with? Do you want to go with Chris Brown or do you want to go with Alton Brown?
We took mine on Adams, so we'll go Alton Brown.
All right, so we'll go Alton Brown. Yeah, we got a little cooking guy on there. So, all right. And then you wanted to go Carter. I thought maybe Clark, but I think Carter.
Well, I mean, if you put a list together for Clark.
No, I got
Clark's.
Put a list together for Carter.
Carter
instead of Clark. Go ahead. Send your names for Carter here.
So I've got Jimmy Carter. Mm-hmm. I've got Dwayne Carter, who is Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne, yeah.
I've got Sean Carter, who is Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, yep.
And then I went Vince Carter.
Okay. We got 2. So I had Jay-Z, Sean Carter, and I had Jimmy Carter. But then I had another musician, Clarence Carter, who was the sax guy in Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. And then I had probably a lot of guys my age's first crush on the TV set. I had Linda Carter, Wonder Woman, the first original Wonder Woman, as the Carter on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, some other names. Joe Carter, walk-off home run in the World Series. Then I had Chris Carter, CC from Middletown, a little local flavor there. And then I didn't put them just because I thought it was cheating, but the Carter family, kind of the first creators of modern country music. They're kind of credited with kind of starting the genre, changing it from folk to more country, what we know today.
Yep. Nice. I had Joe, Chris as well, but I had Gary Carter, catcher for the Mets in the Expos, Vince Carter, and then Nell Carter, who was on the Facts of Life. All right, so we've got 2 for sure. We have Jimmy and Jay-Z. Do you want to take one and I take one?
I'll take one. Well, mine will be Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne, okay. And then I'm going to take Linda just because Wonder Woman has to be up there. She has to be up there, so. All right, so let's review real quick. So we had John Quincy Adams, Brian Adams, and Samuel Adams for the Adams. For the Browns, we had Tim, James, Paul, and Alton Brown. And then for the Carters, we had Sean Carter, also known as Jay-Z, Dwayne Carter, also known as Lil Wayne, Jimmy Carter, and then Linda Carter. So if you agree, let us know in the comment section if we got these right. They should be on the Mount Rushmores, or if you can come up with somebody else who we totally forgot, because we do.
I'm sure we did. Yep,
we
did.
Forgot some names out there. When you do Google search and you've come up, who knows how many different names come out there. So go ahead and leave us a comment. Let us know what we missed. And then also leave us a comment, because we're going to go next week
letters,
with, D, E, and F. Now, I will say this, that there might be a time where we might combine a couple of letters, because if you look at E's and I's, or a Y,
X's,
X's, something like that, Z's, we might have to combine some letters.
There might be an episode where we just do one letter, which is J, and have a bunch of different names. Because
like Jefferson, Johnson, Jackson's, right? So something like that. So we may have multiple names on one time, multiple names from the same letter, or we may have to combine some. So, but next week it will be D, E, and F. So give us, who you think, take a guess. Give us who you think will be our D, E, and F.